Scottish football has always been defined by passion, identity, and rivalry. It is one of the most emotionally charged sporting landscapes in the world, and at the centre of countless debates lies a recurring theme: the referees. Their decisions, their backgrounds, and the systems that guide them have shaped discussions for generations. We explore why Scottish refereeing has become such a powerful subject, how cultural history has influenced public perception, and why questions about fairness and transparency continue to fuel debate today. For decades, match officials in Scotland have found themselves under intense scrutiny. Every controversial decision, whether it is a penalty awarded in a tight match or a red card shown during an Old Firm derby, immediately becomes more than just a moment on the pitch. It becomes the spark for national conversation. Radio phone-in shows, newspaper columns, television panels, and online discussions often erupt into heated arguments, not only about the call itself, but about what it supposedly represents. Supporters across the country analyse every angle, question the consistency of the rules, and debate whether referees are truly being held accountable. To understand why these reactions are so strong, you have to understand the cultural backdrop of Scotland. For more than a century, football has been tied to the wider social landscape, including political and religious identities that shaped communities and rivalries. These historical divisions may have softened over time, but they have never completely disappeared. When a controversial decision happens, it is easy for supporters to view it through the lens of their community's history, rather than through the eyes of a neutral observer. In Scotland, football is more than just a game. It is a reflection of emotions, loyalties, and traditions that stretch far beyond the stadium. Because of this deep emotional connection, rumours and claims about bias have always circulated within Scottish football culture. Some fans and commentators have long discussed the idea that certain referees may have personal connections to private organisations, such as the Freemasons or the Orange Order. These discussions go back decades and often grow louder during moments of controversy. It is important to state clearly: there is no verified evidence showing that such memberships, where they exist, have created institutional bias or corrupted decisions. However, what does exist is a lack of transparency. The Scottish Football Association does not require referees to publicly disclose membership in private groups. This has allowed speculation to thrive, even when there is no proven wrongdoing. The debate is less about confirmed facts, and more about the public's desire for reassurance and openness. When dealing with intense rivalries, even normal human error can be viewed as something more dramatic. A missed foul, an incorrect offside call, a split-second decision becomes a symbol rather than a mistake. Supporters remember decisions for years, sometimes decades, and every new controversy is added to a long list of grievances and memories. Referees in Scotland do not officiate in a vacuum. They operate within one of the most emotionally charged football environments in the world, and every match carries the weight of history. In modern times, calls for reform have grown louder. Pundits, journalists, ex-players, and even former referees have spoken about the need for greater transparency and modernisation. Many have argued that officials should face the public more often, offering explanations for major decisions. Others believe that a fully professional refereeing system, rather than one built on part-time officials, could improve consistency and reduce the pressure on those who juggle demanding careers alongside officiating. The introduction of VAR was meant to address some of these concerns. It was sold as a tool that would bring clarity and reduce errors. But the reaction in Scotland has been mixed. Some see it as a step toward fairness, while others feel it has added confusion, slowed the game, and created new forms of controversy. Supporters often argue that VAR decisions still depend on human interpretation, meaning the underlying debates about judgment and consistency remain unresolved. In many ways, VAR has changed the nature of the conversation, but it has not ended it. Despite all the heated discussion, It is important to recognise that referees operate under enormous pressure. They're expected to make split-second decisions in situations where players, managers, and supporters are emotionally invested. Every mistake is amplified. Every correct decision is often forgotten. Yet these officials continue to step onto the pitch week after week, balancing the demands of a passionate football culture with the responsibility of keeping the game fair. Scottish refereeing sits at the crossroads of sport, history, and national identity. The discussions surrounding it go far beyond the 90 minutes of a match. They touch on trust, transparency, and the desire for a system that commands respect across all fan bases. Whether the debate is driven by genuine concern or by the emotion of rivalry, it continues because football means so much to the people who watch it. As Scottish football moves forward, the challenge is not only to improve refereeing itself, but to rebuild confidence in the system behind it. Greater openness, clearer communication, and more support for officials could play a key role in shaping the future. The passion of the supporters will always remain, but with the right steps, the tension and distrust that surround refereeing could finally begin to ease. And so the question remains: how can Scottish football create a refereeing environment that earns the trust of everyone, regardless of club, rivalry, or history? It is a question that will continue to shape discussions in the years ahead, as supporters, officials, and governing bodies all strive for a fairer and more transparent future for the game.